These are your Unit 1B review notes, Day 1. We are going to be reviewing what is going to be on your summative. And the summative for this unit, the only standard that's covered is 2A. So first, let's look up here. We have 4 to the third power. The first thing you're going to be asked to do is to expand the expression. So 4 times 4 times 4. Remember, this does not mean 4 times 3. Next, you need to identify the base, which is 4 here, and then identify the exponent, which is 3. Remember, the base tells you what number you're multiplying, and the exponent tells you how many times. So we have 4 times 4 times 4. I would go ahead and I would put that in my calculator, and I would get an answer of 64. Okay, try the next one on your own. Okay, hopefully you tried this one and you get the same answer as me. So identify the base, which is 5. My exponent is 6. My base tells me what number I'm multiplying, and my exponent tells me how many times. So we have 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. And when you do 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, you get a huge number, 15,625. You might get really large numbers sometimes, so don't think you did it incorrectly if you have a large number. All right, let's go to these next problems. In these next problems, remember that you need to use your calculator, except for when you have a number to the 0 power. Anytime you have a number to the 0 power, the answer is always 1. So make sure when you're typing these in your calculator that you are doing it correctly. I saw a lot of people just kept typing and all of the numbers were in their exponents. You need to make sure that you do 3 to the first power and that you press the button that gets you out of that exponent. All right, try these on your own. Hopefully you tried these on your own and you used your calculator and you had 3 plus 36 equals 39. Next, we had 5 to the power of 0, which we know is automatically 1, and same thing with 3 to the power of 0. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. And last, we have 5 squared, 25, plus 6 squared, which is 36. So your answer is 61. All right, if you did this incorrectly, make sure you figure out your mistake. Okay, next we have the square root of 64 and the square root of 81. With these numbers, these are perfect squares. So you are not going to have to simplify these numbers, okay? If the answer is a whole number, you know that it's a perfect square. So the square root of 64 would be, you'd put it in your calculator and you would get an answer of 8, because this is a whole number. Okay, that's a perfect square. 8 times 8 equals 64. Next, we do the square root of 81, and the square root of 81 is a perfect square. And if you put that in your calculator, you'd get an answer of 9, because 9 times 9 equals 81. Okay, so check for perfect squares. A lot of times these are numbers we have memorized. If not, it's a good idea to check before you simplify. Next, we're going to be making prime factorizations. And here we have, what is a prime number? Prime number is a number that is only divisible by 1. Okay, the only factor is 1 in itself. So make sure you have this in your notes. Remember, pause as you need to get the information in. I'm going a little bit fast. Okay, next we are going to practice prime factorization. I'm going to do the first one. And I'm going to start with 4 times 10. When you're doing this, a lot of times there's more than one way to start. So if you don't start the exact same way as me because this number has many factors, that's okay as long as the answer at the end is the same. So I'm starting with 4 times 10. And I know neither one of these are prime numbers. And if I forget what prime numbers are, they're listed right here. So we have 4 times 10. And I know 2 times 2 equals 4, and 2 is a prime number, so I need to circle both of those. And that branch is done of that factor tree. Next, I'll go to 10, which is not a prime number. And I know that 2 times 5 is equal to 10, so I need to circle both of those numbers. Now, my job is to create prime factorization. I see if I have any numbers that are the same, and I can see I have multiple 2's. I have 1, 2, 3. So we have 2 to the 3rd power, and then my last number that's left is 5. So this would be 2 to the 3rd power times 5. The next thing that you're going to do is this problem, and I need you to change it because that is a perfect square. So instead of saying 16, it's going to say 18. Now go ahead and try this on your own. All right? Hopefully you tried this on your own and you got the correct answer. So we have 3 times 6 equals 18. 3 is a prime. And then we have 2 times 3 is equal to 6. 2 and 3 are both primes. I count how many are alike. We have just 1, 2. So I'm going to put the 2 down because we put these in order from least to greatest. And next I can see that I have 2 3's. So I'm going to say times 3 squared. All right, this is the end of Unit 1B, your Day 1 review. Your test looks exactly like this, so if you're a little confused, watch the video again.